Okay, so I'm feeling pretty embarrassed because this is the first time I'm hearing that for 11 years, Cannon Beach has been hosting a literary festival, one that Ursula K. Le Guin was quoted saying was the best party she'd ever been to. And it has the best name possible. Get Lit at the Beach is happening the weekend of April 11th through the 13th. That's right, Get Lit at the Beach brings together authors and readers to celebrate a mutual love of books and reading, and I'm assuming more from the name. For more information and to purchase tickets, go to www.getlitatthebeach.com. With the price of everything skyrocketing and many of us getting a little stir-crazy from having survived yet another Northwest winter, a lot of us are torn between wanting to pop out of town for a quick little getaway but realizing we don't have the funds for plane fare. Also, have you seen what's going on with planes these days? No thank you. So today on CityCast Portland, we're talking with our resident fun expert, Eden Dawn, about some ways to maximize the luxury and enjoyment of a good old staycation. Eden is the co-author of the Portland Book of Dates and the Seattle Book of Dates, and she has ideas for every budget and activity range. Do you want to have a chill night away at a local winery's villa? Maybe just ride bikes at a beautiful waterfront? What about things to do with the kids during their spring break? Eden's got you covered. It's Wednesday, March 26th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Before we get into our picks, let's lay out the parameters of a staycation for this conversation. Because a lot of people, when they're like, oh, I'm going to go on vacation, it's going to be a staycation, it just means like they're not going anywhere. They're not leaving. They're just going to explore where they live. And so I want to know, like, what is your version of that?
It's true. It's good to have parameters because otherwise, in essence, we are all on a staycation all of the time. So true. If you're not, except for when you're on a plane. So, okay, couple different ways to think about it. If you're saying like, hey, I have some time off from work and I don't want to get on a plane, I don't want to travel, I don't have the budget, et cetera, staycation can mean a few different things. One is like, obviously, staying someplace that's nearby within like an hour, right? We're talking about staying in town or a short drive, something that doesn't require planes, trains, maybe a slight amount of automobiles. And then there is staycation where you're just like taking time off and you're staying in your house, you're sleeping in your house, and you are committed to doing some vacation fun activities that don't feel like the day-to-day. That's what I think a staycation is. Do you have a different opinion, and should we argue about it?
I love the ready to joust, and I love that spirit. But no, I'm actually in 100% agreement with you. Sorry to disappoint. You can relax the shoulders. And I love this, by the way. This was an idea that we had because at first we're like, oh, it's winter, you know, maybe people don't want to leave. But then we're just like, wait, people are pouring out and they're terrified of airplanes. So we're like, perfect. Here's a staycation. So let's talk about places that require, you know, maybe you to leave your house for like a night.
Yeah, close. So a couple ways to think about this, right? There's the staycation for time where you're like, I have the money for a vacation. I just don't really have the time. And if that's the case, if you are like, or maybe it's like an anniversary or a birthday and you want to be bougie, tell you what.
Oh, I love that idea.
The Allison Inn in Newburgh, if you have never been, is, I would say, one of our fanciest, bougiest things we do in Oregon, particularly because it still feels like Oregon to me, meaning like you're in wine country. It is beautiful in front of you. I have stayed there one time, and in the room, which had like a bathtub in the room next to a fireplace, I was in the tub, fireplace going, looking out the window, and the TV was in front of me. And then I like watched an episode of Murder, She Wrote, which is, in my opinion, the best show probably of all time. And I was like, this is what I would do if I was a millionaire. This is like millionaire lifestyle. And then it has an indoor beautiful pool. It has a gorgeous terrace. It overlooks wine country. They have like complimentary valet. It is spendy for sure. This is like a fancy thing, unless you're somebody who doesn't care about budget and then whatever, have fun being rich. but it is a thing to do that is, I would say, very well worth the splurge. And the restaurant on site is amazing. You'll drink great wine. It's like oh my God, this is delightful.
I just saw pictures. It's absolutely gorgeous. And Newburgh is so close, so that's perfect. What's another place that would be a good overnight escape?
So the one that is like a real frequent, we have done multiple times, especially when we need something quick in our family, is go out to the Society Hotel in Bingen, Washington. So the drive is in the gorge. It's gorgeous. It's a sister hotel from the Society Hotel that's down in Old Town. It's
Oh,
kind of like
okay.
McMiniman's E in that it's like an old schoolhouse that has been converted. And so this one is nice because it can really appeal to different budgets. So they have like a dorm room with bunk beds. So if you're not going anywhere because money is tight, then like you and some of your friends could totally take a dorm room over for super cheap. Or they have full little cabins and they're outside, in the gorge, and the cabins all circle around their little spa area, which is included in the price of the stay, which is like a huge hot tub, an icy plunge pool, a sauna, a steam room. There's like hammocks outside. So you just go and sit and chill. There's a tiny little cafe on site that's really good. During the day, it's super close. You can pop over to Hood River and bounce around, watch the, windsurfers, kite surfers, windsurfers, the people who are doing that.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But every time I look at it, even as like a fully middle-aged woman, I'm like, I could do that.
I could do that? Yeah. Yeah.
I could do that. In my heart, I believe I could do it. And as long as I never try, I will have no evidence otherwise. It's also near some really amazing hikes. The Catherine Creek is right near there, and that one is so stunning if you've never been. It's like up on the top of the gorge, overlooking everything. It just feels so different from a city, and it's an hour drive away, It appeals to different budgets. You could literally leave on Friday night after work and go get a good weekend in and come back.
I want to say people when, you said, oh, the Society Hotel, like the one in Old Town. This looks nothing like Old Town.
Oh,
This
yes.
is so beautiful. It's outdoors. Even their styling looks a little bit different. Like there's grounds. They actually have grounds that you can walk around, and it's very, very, very beautiful. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you
that's
for I
true.
I had
It is
no
not
idea.
alike in visual. It is alike in name only,
Yeah.
and in quality of coffee, because I think they both have great coffee.
Oh, good to know. Give me another one. A little closer this time. What do you think?
So I think, speaking of Old Town, which, sometimes people forget about, or they have watched the news and think, I don't go to Old Town, which is ridiculous. I think that going to stay at the Hoxton for a night is lovely. So the thing I love about the Hoxton is, first of all, it has multiple bars on site, right? They have this little basement speakeasy, which is gorgeous. And they have like DJs. I've been in the past when they've had like a tiny little jazz band playing down there. And then the rooftop, Tope, which is gorgeous. It's all tiled and it has, great margaritas, but it has this outdoor rooftop. And if you go at sunset and you look over the whole city, it is stunning. And then the thing is, because you're right down there in Old Town, you can walk everywhere. You can cruise up to Powell's if you want to like pretend to be a total tourist and buy yourself some new books. You are a stone's throw away from Darcel's, which you know that I'm going to always advocate for, of going to have a night of drag. You are next to the Star Theater. There's just so many things around there that it is worth going and staying, I think, and having some drinks and just getting into various little shenanigans.
Oh man, this is so cool. You've been singing the praises of the Hoxton rooftop bar, and I've yet to go. And I think I confused Hoxton with the Society Hotel just because of the general location.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think the outside rooftop is open all the time, obviously. But as we are getting into nicer weather times, there's just not that many places downtown that you can be like outdoor rooftop. It's lovely to go see.
Can I give you a suggestion? I don't know if you've heard of this, but I think you might like this one.
Yes.
Oh my God. I have one. Okay. So Portland Monthly, you used to work there, so I think you've heard of this publication. They had sort of like a release party for their first print in like, it feels like years. I'm going to say years. It probably wasn't, but for a long time. And it was at this place called Winery Lane Collective, kind of like in the outskirts of Beaverton. And so a friend and I went, and we found out that it's connected to an overnight like day breakfast kind of spot, and it's called Sosta House. And it is so cute. Same thing. You can overlook their winery and the vineyards, and it's so beautiful. They did such a good job.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
I'll
it's
check it
not
out.
that price. I don't think it's that pricey at all. I think that they are making it so people could, if they wanted to, go to Beaverton. There's a lot of undeveloped areas, and there's actually vineyards out there. So you should go check this out. It's gorgeous.
Before we stray from that, the vineyards out there, a lot of them have little stays. Beacon Hill Winery is one we put in Portland Book of Dates because they have this beautiful little mini Rapunzel tower on the set of their grounds that I have stayed in. That's absolutely beautiful. And other wineries out there have that too. So it is a really nice option to look at the different wineries and their small stays because they are big farms that so many of them have invested in the idea of like, oh, what if our guests want to come and drink all the wine and then sleep here too?
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, some day trips closer to home. Have you heard of bookshop.org? They're an online marketplace whose entire mission is to support local independent bookstores. The way it works is every time you buy a book through bookshop.org, you can choose an independent bookstore to directly support with your purchase. Just select your favorite neighborhood shop from across the street or across the country. I know a lot of us are trying to wean ourselves off Amazon, so here's a great option. And you'll feel good knowing that with bookshop.org, your money is supporting your local community and helping indie bookstores continue to foster culture, curiosity, and a love of reading for generations to come. Use the code CITYCAST to get 15% off your next order at bookshop.org. Chronopolis, Crime in Time City is an original play complete with juggling, contortion, and dance set to a score written and performed live by Hot Damn Scandal. And it's coming to the Alberta Rose Theatre the first weekend of April. It's a fast-paced circus noir in which Private Eye Charlie Burton is investigating a disturbance at the city's time vaults. While chasing down leads, he meets a classic cast of characters, a femme fatale, an underworld entrepreneur, and a disillusioned cop, just to name a few, and uncovers a plot that goes all the way to the top. Honestly, this looks like a lot of fun. You can catch it April 4th, 5th, and 6th. Grab your tickets now at albertarosetheater.com. That's albertarosetheater.com. Okay, what about some adventures, but you are sleeping at home, so maybe like a day trip? What are we doing?
Okay, so my parameters for this, I don't know why I got an accent there for a minute, is what feels like not typical Oregon. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because the obvious things to me, when I want to do something and just like get away from the computer and just like be away from work, truly it's always Silver Falls. That's like my first thing, is because Silver Falls Park is just the most stunning thing in the world, and you have 10 waterfalls and you go hike there. So one, do that. But taking away the idea of the typical hike, waterfall sort of thing that maybe I want to posit the idea. Have you heard of the Villa Catalana Winery outside of Oregon City?
No, let me look it up.
Okay, so I am obsessed with this place. Villa Catalana, which is also so fun to say. Just give it a go a couple times.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. So it was once, not even that long ago, an empty hayfield, and then this lovely couple who both have amazing hair. That's just what I have to say. They have amazing hair, amazing taste. They came to this empty hayfield. They built a home that is based off of a 12th century Romanesque church. I believe it's called San Clemente de Tejo. And so they built this replica, And they made it this giant Mediterranean garden. There are eucalyptus trees, there are ponds. It looks like you have traveled to Spain and it is in outside Oregon City. It is truly the most stunning thing. And it is their home. I have gone there multiple times. Bert, the fella, is this amazing gardener. So he has these greenhouses full of rare Mediterranean tropical plants. And like a couple times a year, they will open up the greenhouses for a tropical plant sale in which everyone comes. We got a eucalyptus tree after talking to him, and now it is like 40 feet tall in our front yard, and everyone in the neighborhood comes by to smell it. It is such a special place. Once a week on Saturday, they open up their little conservatory and have tastings, but they let you come and like bring food. You can picnic. We have been there when there were like little farm kittens running around the ponds. I mean, every person we have taken there is like, how is this Oregon? It's basically going to Europe, 30 minutes.
It looks like Europe. Yeah. Oh my God. I love it. It is so cool. I've never heard of this place. And it looks like, kind of looks a little castle-y in a cool way. Oh my God. I want to go. Let's see how far.
It's really great. And so the tastings are on Saturdays. I think they're like $15. You have to make a reservation. But, sign up for their newsletter or follow them on social because, like I said, they will do things like have chef pop-up dinners and other stuff throughout the summer. And it is just so lovely.
That is so cool. Thank you. Any other places that you would suggest?
Yeah, another one, because I realize, as somebody who drinks alcohol, that oftentimes my recommendations are alcohol-based. That one, though, that we like for people who do not drink alcohol but is out in wine country is Red Ridge Farms. Have you ever been out there to the winery for olive oil?
No.
So it's out in wine country, and it's so beautiful because they have these big gardens. There's all these little paver paths you walk around. There's like lights, there's greenhouses, but the olive orchards are everywhere. And then depending on what time you go, they will be milling the olive oils. So you can see everyone picking the olives, making the oil. They have a little tasting room, but instead of tasting booze, it's all the different olive oils that you can go into and try the like rosemary one or the lemon one. This is like a great thing to do also, I feel like with like parents, or it's like something where like, we want to get out there. We want the joys of going to wine country, but I don't want to be in a car with my stepdad drinking all day.
Okay, so this place is in Dayton, Oregon, so like it's on the way to McMinnville if you were going there, and it's gorgeous. I didn't even know that, Oregon grew olives, had its own olive oil, but it makes sense because people keep saying, we're on the same latitude as Italy, and I don't believe it. They're just like, we can grow similar things, but I guess so. Another thing is that, let's say I'm going to continue this idea of stepfather that you clearly do not like. There actually is a winery.
Don't say that. He's going to listen. I just don't want to be. I don't trust anyone basically over the age of 60 once they've had a couple wines. I'm like, what are you going to say? What are you going to do? What politics are you going to start talking about?
Well, there's a Durand Vineyards tasting room, like a few steps away. So there's that. Do with that information as you will.
Yes. So you can actually just be on the same grounds and pop over and get a beautiful red wine too, if that's what you want, in addition to the olive oil.
What about, okay, so spring break is coming up and there's going to be a lot of parents right now, I think, with children. They just are like, we're not going anywhere. It's expensive. Any ideas for them of what to do with children, with the children's?
I know this one well because I have an adorable niece and nephew in Salem, Oregon. Shout out to Fritz and Goldie. And also, though I don't always claim it, I grew up in Salem I was a child there myself.
When I was a child, I was a child
there myself. And I can say Salem is a very fun day trip, especially kiddo related, or even not, if you want to have the glee of children. So, I mean, depending on time of year, which I don't believe it is open yet by spring break, but very soon will be. Of course, I will never stop talking about how Enchanted Forest is the greatest amusement park of all time. Take that, Walt Disney. Okay, because it is a delightful, amazing place of which I have gone to so many times, and it is magical. If you've never been, go to Enchanted Forest.
You'll
Separate
leave
from
you'll leave a little haunted, and it's beautiful. Go on, Eden.
You'll leave
Sorry.
a little haunted, and it's beautiful, and that's what I like about it. But downtown Salem has a great waterfront, and they have just kept blinging it out over years. They have a beautiful carousel. It's fun to walk around. They have the giant acid ball sculpture, which is like now this earth art project. When I was growing up, it was called the acid ball, and you went there to try to smoke clove cigarettes. But now it's far more family friendly. There is the Peter Courtney pedestrian bridge. People are like, rollerblading around. It's a beautiful walk, and it hooks you up to Minto Brown Island Park, which is a stunning place to go. It is a 1,200-acre conservation area. It is where I, Eden Dawn, learned how to ride bicycles back in the day. There are tons of paved bike paths. It's such a pretty thing because you're on the river. There's soft trails for runners. There's an off-leash, huge dog park. There's picnic areas. It just is such a special place. And I think, if you're somebody who wants to ride bikes and you are not comfortable doing it around cars, like it's worth the drive down in itself.
That is so cool.
But before you go, it is very important that you take a quick jog up Commercial and you go to what I still, after being in Portland for 26 years, have never been able to top the tortillas of La Hacienda Real. With the lady in the front who's hand making the flour tortillas. I dream of those veggie fajitas in my sleep.
Is it a chain? Because I see one in Beaverton. I see one in Kaiser.
It's like a mini chain. I have heard tale of this one in Beaverton, but I have not gone. To me, it is that one right near downtown Salem, and I would eat 400 of those tortillas if I was allowed to.
Oh my God. It looks like very well done Mexican-American food. It's really cute. Like it has a whole little hacienda vibe. And there's like the cheese where you're just like, that's nacho cheese, but it looks like homemade. Like I want
so
homemade
good.
nacho cheese. Yeah, this looks good. I want to point out two things. One, it's also our state's capital. I don't know if you know that, Eden, but
Oh, I'm not familiar. No. Haven't heard that.
No, okay. So you got kids and you're just like, oh, look, here's the capital of where you live. So there's that, which is adorable. But also, I don't know if this happened while you were there or because you left. One or the other, I imagine. But Salem's kind of got a really cool barbecue scene. Did you know this?
I mean, I'm a vegetarian for like almost all my life, so I definitely don't think that was because of me. Maybe that was because I
think that's what I'm saying, because you left. So you left, like, finally, we can, like, make a lot of meat. If you Google Salem barbecue, you're going to find yourself a pretty awesome scene. And they're, like, for real. Like, they're smoking this stuff outside. And because it's Oregon, there's also, like, beer everywhere, like craft beer. It seems like they've got a scene going on. And Salem also has a larger population of Latin people, Hispanics. So there is a marriage of, like, barbecue with Mexican food and Mexican beer. It's really cool. Just go Google it, check it out. To me, that seems like a fun place to take kids too. Like, who doesn't love? Oh yeah, not you, Eden, but most.
But most people. Before we leave Salem, our state capital, which is an open capital and has our famous gold man on top, which I believed was a naked sculpture, probably until I was 14 years old, because the gold man's clothes are also gold, and I couldn't tell that they were sculpted on. You can definitely cut all of that out. But before we leave the Capitol, outside around this time, it is beautiful because the entire sort of boardwalk leading up to it is cherry trees. And when they are in blossom, to go visit the Capitol there is so stunning. It's just all of these cherry trees. It is very picturesque. It makes you feel sort of hopeful about politics for 1 second. With like the rotunda in view, it's like the combination where you're like, this is majestic and important things happen here. It feels like that.
Okay.
Okay, and then my last one, which we have done with, speaking of my aforementioned cute niece and nephew, and I have multiple godchildren that we do family vacations with, is we have learned the joy with kiddos specifically who might feel cooped up of a shared playlist dance party. So that's where everyone gets to add their favorite song to the
Oh,
playlist
fun.
for
Yeah,
a family dance party. And like we have a disco light bulb we got from Sunland, you know, in Mississippi, the amazing
Yeah.
light bulb store where Kay always says, "How may I light up your world?" when you walk in. So we have this
Yeah.
disco light bulb that just screws into your regular light bulb outlet and it spins around and lights up. And then everyone gets to pick a song. Now, if you were a professional DJ, you would be horrified because there is no transition and there is no rhyme or reason to the genre of which you're listening in any way. You might get a Baby Shark followed by a Shake It Off, like followed by Chapel Roan. But the vibe is there. Everyone feels like they're getting to participate. I can try to teach the youth about the importance of Alanis Morissette. And, you know, we all get something we want.
I love that. That is so cute. That is also so Bluey coded. I don't know if you've watched Bluey.
I have seen Bluey, and as is heard around here, Binjo. Bluey and Binjo. That's how my nephew says it.
It's not. It's bingo. Tell him he's saying it wrong.
Okay, well, he's 2, so
Well, he's wrong.
we're doing our best. Okay, I'll let him know.
Thank you.
I'll let him know.
Well, Eden, these are some fantastic ideas. I know that you have a book coming out. It's an old new book. You want to shout it out so people know what's hitting?
So Portland Book of Dates came out in January of 2021, and we are very excited to say we have updated it. So any closures, anything that is no longer with us, we have rotated out and brought in some new fun ways to keep it current. And that is getting in final layout now. And it will be coming out this fall around the same time that our 3rd Book of Dates comes out. And we are adding Nashville to the mix.
Oh, that's so cool.
If you will be having a trip to Nashville coming out for Christmas this year, you could buy the new version of Portland Book of Dates and Seattle Book of Dates and Nashville Book of Dates.
Eden, we got to hook you up with CityCast Nashville. You should get on there and tell them all about their own city.
Oh, yeah, I will.
That would be amazing. No, I'm not joking. I'm definitely going to make that connection. Also, we're also going to do a CityCast Seattle pretty soon. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, yay! The Seattle Times put out a story in December listing the most popular library books of the year, and Seattle Book of Dates was the #1 nonfiction book for the Seattle Public Library.
Oh my God, that's so cool. Congrats, dude. That's amazing.
People want shit to do.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Eden, once again for just hanging out with me. I love all your ideas. I love it when you're on here. Thank you.
Yeah, me too. I know it's been so long. Well, Happy New Year. Can you say Happy New Year when it's like St. Patrick's Day? Probably not.
No, it's too late. It's not St. Patrick's Day. Wrap it up, Eden.
Sorry, too late.
Well, we're good. I think we're good.
Happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Well, that's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.